Welcome everyone to the next live, and today we're not going to make anything but basically today's live is about making today I just want to create as much stuff as I can for the first prototype, because tomorrow is the build and testing period and I want a base game to be ready till then. So we're going to fix all of the problems that we are having with menu or something else, and we're going to include more stuff inside the menu so we can change all of those things, and probably fix some of the tools and stuff that exist but aren't that polished yet. So we're going to do all of those things and make sure that I have a prototype 0.01 ready to be shipped, and so you guys can play it by Sunday or Monday or something like that. Alright then, so today's job is just to make the prototype as ready as possible so that we can move forward and do our other stuff. Alright, now I did do some of the stuff behind the scene, and mostly it was about the gamepad controls and stuff inside the menu. Let me just show you what are the changes. So this is the base look that I am going with. So I included these arrows, which again this texture came from the not this one, I don't even know if that exists. Fidgets, HUD textures. Okay, so these textures I got them from Fab. You guys can also search for free crosshairs, and this pack was available there, and there is this texture over here which I just tilted and put it inside here. Now this basically shows that we can move through these things, and these are also clickables. So if we click on them, they will move to either sides of the selected menu. Now I will show you the algorithm behind this, but let me first visualize everything. So firstly we go inside the gamepad. Right now I'm using the controller, so I go to the options menu, and over here we have these menus that we can select from. Right, by default I have selected that the journal will be selected every single time. I think for any players, they won't be that much worried if the journal is the default menu that they are getting, but we can change them from audio, display, graphics and controls from the shoulder buttons of the controller. Okay, and now what exactly is happening is, because I'm not using them as buttons, they are just changeable menus through those shoulder buttons, but the display, graphics, all of these options are not buttons, selectable buttons themselves. Okay, I still can click on them and choose one of these, so I can choose display, graphics and stuff like that. The mouse is bugging a bit, so we do need to fix that, but yeah. So as you can see over here, we can select all of these options with mouse, and we can also click on this arrow right here to scroll through them. But if you're using a keyboard or a gamepad, we just have to click all of the shoulder buttons to go through them. Okay, I do have to put some type of showcase on the these arrows, you have to press the right shoulder button to move to the right side or something like that. But other than that, whenever I go to a certain option menu like display, this 1920 is the now selected like keyboard focused option. Okay, so what is going to happen if I press down button? Now the FPS is selected, and if I press down again, now the back is selected. So instead of those upper uh, buttons being the focus keyboard options, now the menus themselves are the focusable. So if I go to controls, the first mouse sensitivity x-axis is already in the focus and can use it as before. But yeah, that's the upgrade. Now the buttons themselves, the menus themselves are not in focus, but their options are in focus. All right, so now let me show you where exactly happening in the graph. So I created this and this graph when we were off, like off stream. So firstly, this eventic, you already know, is similar to all of the things that we were doing back there. It's just right now it's only checking the button, the back button basically, and checking is it in the keyboard focus, and if it is, change the background color and such. Other than that, we have the gamepad left shoulder. Okay, you can put any keyboard key also here, and you just have to attach this move left or move right function to it. Now what do the move left and move right does is basically go to this position over here, and I have this enumeration with menus. Okay, enumeration called menus that have these 5 options, and they can be as many as possible, as many as you want them to be possible. But for now we have only these 5 options, and we can choose from journal, audio, display, graphics, and controls. So if you want to move left, that means if it's journal, it will be control. If it's audio, then journal, and so on. Okay, and if you want to move to right, then journal will choose audio, then audio will choose display, and again so on with every single option. And this is the only thing that we are doing here. We are just selecting which menu we want to show, and after we have selected that, we are going to go inside the show menu command, and this show menu custom event will run, and it will choose between all of one of these 5 options. And let's say that it is a journal. Okay, then the journal one will run. It will hide all menus. Okay, first thing that it will do, it will hide everything, and then it will make the visibility of the journal widget only to be visible, and then it will set the text. Okay, so this journal, this text will be turned red. Instead of the whole button, I'm just turning the journal text to be red. And after we have done that, then it will go through and set the player controller focus to that particular widget. Now there is one thing, there is one little thing. Right now there is nothing in journal audio, but there is stuff inside display and controls. And when I was working with this, they weren't that good. Okay, so they weren't like that well done. So if I just select this widget itself and put it as the focus, then it will not work. Okay, it's for some reason it just sends the keyboard focus to some other worldly places that we don't know of, and for that reason I have to get the particular option that is the top option of that particular widget, and then I have to set that widget in focus. Okay, so this is the only difference. Every time we are creating and showing this widget, we are basically getting one of the options and we are setting that particular widget in focus. Okay, similarly with the display, we are setting up the display resolution as the widget in focus. All right, and that's almost everything that we are doing. It will be kind of messy for you guys to know like how everything is working here, but yeah, that let's think like let's just pick if you're doing it by yourself, let's just go with one of the widget. Firstly, hide everything, then show that particular widget, then change the color of the widget's text, and then set a option within that widget by from going over to the widget and getting that option like here, and then setting that particular option as the widget in focus, and you will get this node through get player controller. All right then, so that was it, and this is the input called set input mode game and UI. Okay, so that was it. And also because I'm using text, this is the inside the hide all menu, I am basically checking all of the text to be white instead of red or any other color that you want. Okay, so this is just basic basic construction. And I also have this basically how we can exit the menu. So there is like button click, and then there is also B. Okay, so if I press B, I will just exit the menu anyways. So yeah, so that's the option menu in its entirety, and it will never be more than this. At least the option menu will never be more than this. All of the other functionality, all of the other options will be going to go inside the particular menus, menu widgets themselves. Okay, so yeah, that's it. But there are few bugs. First of all, the biggest bug was when we were going through the options menu, the mouse is disappearing at random paces, and one of the reasons for it is not exactly the option widget but the pose menu widget itself. So inside the pose menu widget I have, where is it, I don't see it anymore. Is it not here? Oh yeah, this one. So I set the show mouse cursor to be false for like there is another bug that I was trying to fix, and I accidentally did that. So now if we try to go inside the options, yeah, they work nicely, and we can basically click on these arrows to move through the menus as well. Okay, now there is one bit of a problem. Let's say that the mouse is like in the menu, like this mouse cursor exists in the menu, and I start using gamepad, right? Or I start using the keyboard and I press resume. As you can see that the mouse cursor is still on the screen while I can play the whole game. If I never touch the mouse and I never actually like move it around, I can actually play the whole game. It doesn't do anything, it just doesn't disappear. That's the problem. Okay, so as you can see that the mouse is not disappearing, and I still cannot figure it out why. Though whenever I start using my mouse, okay, whenever I start using my mouse, or if I'm like in the pose menu and I select the resume with the mouse, it disappears. Okay, so I really don't know what is the problem behind it. And also the keyboard is working. So like if I do this and go with the keyboard instead of the gamepad, it is still working. So like if I do this, it's still working, but when I'm using the gamepad, it's not working for some reason. So the way that I think it should be, or the way that I think that we're going to do this, is basically we're going to send a. I actually want to send a input, a fake input of a keyboard or a mouse as soon as we do something. Like, yeah. So as soon as we get out of the menu, I want to send a fake input from the keyboard or the mouse to the system, so it like knows that every controller is working and stuff like that. But I still don't know like how can we do it. So we do need to search about it. So let me do that. How to send a fake input in Unreal without keyboard. So let me just bring it over here. To send a fake input in Unreal Engine without a physical keyboard, you can utilize the console command that provides the engine input system, particularly input plus key, input key commands. Oh yeah, simulate a key press. Use command input plus key, input name. Is that a node or something like that? Use the command input dot plus key, input name, and optional parameter. For example, input plus key, gamepad left 2D, X, Y, simulate a gamepad input. Oh, so if I get this, copy this text, right? And I go inside the pose menu, right? And on the event of deconstruct, when we are deconstructing everything, I just go over here and I go into the command. There's like uh, execute console command, and I think it needs to be something like this. So we can check if this is a proper thing or not. So input plus key, and this thing over here, the gamepad left 2D or something like that, I think we can get it from our inputs. So over here we have mouse XY 2D axis. Okay, so mouse Y 2D axis. Can we copy display name and paste? What? 9? How about just a keyboard key, right? Down left W. Input key, and let's say that we just want to press W. How about this? Do we need a specific player? No. And right after this, I think I just want to say print string that I do know that it's working. Now let's do it. So we are using console command now, and as soon as we deconstruct it, it's working. Okay, it's working. We're pressing W, and it's not stopping. So input plus key. Is there any other kind of input? Stop forcing the named action value each frame. Action, provide a named action with a constant input value each frame. Provide a named key with constant input value each frame. Okay, so we need to also like stop it, right? Yeah. So we're going to send it and then we're going to stop it the next frame. So delay till next tick and do this while being negative. I hope this fixes everything, but let's just try to play. Menu, the mouse is there, and we accept it. And it didn't work. How about we don't do this? When we were trying to like move, yeah, our mouse doesn't do anything. So it have to be a mouse. Mhm. Let's not do this so that I can actually visualize everything. But what is the thing for the mouse? If you have defined a action mapping called jump in your input settings, you can simulate the jump action by following commands. Oh, so I can just say look, right? I can just say look and it will look. Right. Okay. So if we paste, no, not this. So if we get this, copy, and if we paste this, and instead of gamepad left or whatever, we just say look, and X and Y are these. Okay. It's not working. It's not working. It's not working. It's not working. Da, 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 da. Is there anything like simulate key or something like that? No, there is nothing like that. Simulate, no. Okay. How about I just get this input key, gamepad left or whatever, and I just copy this, put it over here and check if this is working. Okay, so over here, resume, and yeah, this is working. Wait a minute. Okay, so this is working. We got that much. So we just need to have like what is the mouse value for this. So we go back to the sandbox and look, gamepad is this one. Gamepad right thumbstick to the axis, and this is mouse XY to the axis, which doesn't really make sense. Let's go with key, and over here going to go inside mouse, and I mean, yeah, we can go with mouse X and just play with that, or we can just like maybe click mouse, but what the hell. Yeah, let's go with mouse X. So mouse X by 7. Compile, save, play, menu, resume. Didn't do anything. Maybe let's search for mouse instead of uh, fake mouse input. To simulate the mouse button and set the mouse position node, enable event tick, modify X and Y. Fake mouse X access input in Unreal Engine without code. Not. Do we have any kind of detail about input dot plus key? What about the plus action and question mark? What do we get? Provide the name action with the constant input value with each frame. Okay. Okay, this one. Code mouse access mouse plus string access value. Let's copy this. Copy. Paste. And resume. Right now, even if I click on keyboard, it changes. So it is something to do with the controller, right? Why? Why? Why is it happening? Is the hello, whatever the printing I was doing, is that working? Let's check that out. Okay. Yeah, it does work. Maybe yeah, that is not going to work until unless there is some kind of feature that just moves the player's mouse in like physical world. I really don't know what the issue is because I am disabling the show mouse cursor over here, but it's just not working. It's not working. I don't know why. um, let me just see what exact mouse this mouse the cursor disappear while while what while using gamepad in Unreal Engine. In Unreal Engine, the mouse cursor not disappearing while using gamepad is often due to the how input modes are managed by switching between the mouse and keyboard and gamepad input. When the gamepad is used, the engine might not automatically hide the cursor if the input mode is not particularly set to game only, or if the cursor visibility is explicitly controlled when switching back to the gamepad input. Understanding the input. So how about every time I press or use my gamepad, I just say like hide the mouse cursor, hide the mouse cursor, right? Would that work? Let's just check it. So I'm going to do it inside our game, like our blueprint. Take, where is it? Over here. We're going to drag from here another branch, and from here we're going to get is gamepad. Okay, and yeah, is gamepad, and oh yeah. This, right, wait a minute. There's like another thing that I supposed to do, like over here. If you let me just show you. So let's say that I'm again playing with the gamepad and I'm moving around, but now I'm not actually going to input anything, okay, with the keyboard, and I'm just going to move my mouse. Okay, do you see what's happening? Like, it's moving really slow. I'm moving my mouse, that's true, but it's moving really slow until unless I click on the mouse or I click on the keyboard. Only then it will like start moving everywhere else. So this is the another problem that I have, and this is happening because basically the input that we are getting is an access based. This is not a basically a click, or like it, the access input is not the same input as a click, basically. Okay, so this is so stupid. Okay, so for now, let's just go with this. We can fix that one later. So if we are using gamepad, what I'm just going to do inside the true, I'm just going to get player controller, and we're going to set mouse cursor, set current mouse cursor, set current click trace channel, set show mouse cursor to be false. Okay, so inside the tick, if we are using gamepad in any kind of sense, firstly we're going to do it only do once. Okay, so do once, and again do once, one more time. So if we are not inputting gamepad in any way, don't want to do this, and we reset this and we check it over here like that. All right then. So now let's check out if it works. So we go over here and we go to resume, and now we are inputting. This is a gamepad input, but it's not. That's okay. I think I know one thing. I think it's just not treating my mouse as a mouse, mouse cursor as a mouse. I have to make this tomorrow. I'm trying to make the mouse cursor disappear after setting the time, after a set time in the moving target in my widget. Like a video player. I tried using the set mouse cursor, but it didn't seem to work for some reason. And I was just after some searching, it seems the UMG sometimes conflict with the controller or something, and swapping to set cursor in the widget helped somewhat. I also had some problems since the game is paused in widget and had work around not having timers and use display delays instead. The issue that I have now is that despite the show height logic working as I am getting right string working as I'm getting the right strings on the screen, the cursor doesn't disappear unless I click. Another thing that I noticed, moving it hides it, but it refused to hide back despite executing the set cursor. I also change yeah, same problem as me. It seems to be a bug. If I make the initial click on the viewport, after 2 seconds the mouse should be invisible, but it doesn't until I move it for 1 pixel. If I doesn't make click, it's work fine. Set the input mode to whatever, it doesn't change anything. So basically it won't disappear until you move the mouse. And there I already have a bug. Look, tracker issues since is the process reporting the bug outright if it persists. I had time recording, look around and more today, but I will report it as a bug if I don't find anything. Still exists. I could not get it to show the work either, but this is what I end up using. Yeah, I mean, we can just set the cursor widget to something else. Do we use a custom cursor now? Yeah, let's just use a custom cursor. Let's go to edit, project settings, CURSOR, cursor, hardware cursors, cursor path, delete, software cursors, cut, delete. I think that is going to be like another. So if we just go over here and we set cursor set mouse cursor widget, we need a player controller, so get this, and yeah, none. So does that work? Cursor must be linked to another node. Cursor widget. Okay, so we need a what do we need? What is this? The canvas panel object reference is not compatible with the user widget object reference. Okay, whatever, man. Whatever. This is not working as well. Let me just go with cursor. Resets the cursor to use on the widget, removing any customization to it. Set the cursor to show the widget. Set cursor as none. Target is going to be self. Okay, this is widget object reference. Compile, save, let's go back. And now let's try it. So it's okay. If I go back to this, it's still not. It's still not. You know what I think? I think that we shouldn't do this right now, and we should do this like I should first research about this and come back, something like that. Wait a minute. Oh, nice. Alright, so I'm going to search about this and see like how exactly I can solve this, and I will show you guys how you guys can solve this. But for now, I think the only way you can do this is by using the mouse, and I hope that I will be able to fix this by Sunday or Monday, whenever I will be building this game. So high hopes. So the first thing, before we do anything else, the first thing that we need to fix is what? Now it's not even disappearing. Like, go away, man. At least disappear. Okay, so right now, first thing is that it's like inside the thing. Oh, what is this? What is this? Whatever. So right now, as you know, that we can change the log pad combination, but we cannot get out, and it's not even opening up the log, so we need to fix that. So let's go over here and let's delete all of these things as well. I will solve them later. And now we need to go inside here. Not exactly here, because we are possessing the log pad. Okay, so right now when we are possessing it, we are inside this blueprint, so we need to work with this particular blueprint. And what I actually want to do is, for now, just like always, there is going to be an escape key, and inside the CVP sandbox character we have this pause menu key. Okay, but instead of the pause menu key, I'm going to make this the escape key. Okay, so I know that it is the escape button and not something else, and we can basically use it as pause menu. Okay, so this one we're going to change this name to escape. ASCAPA. Okay, and this didn't change, so we need to go back IA escape and put that there. The other thing that we need to do is check that it is as escape over here. Nice. Now we need to do the same thing inside here, we need to get it. We need to get the IA escape. Okay. And for now, it's going to be again the L, but soon enough we will be changing it to the escape. All right, then we're going to compile and save everything. And now we're going to go inside the pose menu, not the pose menu, but the lockpad pawn. And over here, we're going to call for IA escape. Okay, so every single time we run the IA escape, we're going to unpossess okay, so unpossess, and we're going to unpossess ourselves. If you remember, we have possessed the sandbox character, and after that we have possessed this lockpad, and now we are just basically unpossessing it and also deleting it, destroy actor. Okay, so we firstly unpossess it and then destroy it. So let's go over here. Lockpad pawn is an error. Yeah, this is going to be self. Cannot input self. Oh, the target is controller. Okay, so get player controller. Okay, let's check it out. So we go over here, and if you press L, but we are not possessing our sandbox character, so yeah, let's do that. How do we do it? Let's go back to the blueprints, data, player interaction, and over here we're going to add a function possess player. Okay, and it's not going to have anything else. And over here in the sandbox character, we're going to get the possess player, double click on it and move it at the top. Right here. Okay, now let's go back here, and we're going to get player pawn, and then we're going to say possess possess player. Compile and save. Wait a minute. Event called when the pawn is possessed by a controller, only called on server and or in standalone. Target is pawn. Let me just check if this works. So we go back here, press L. It's not working. Okay. Maybe this is just basically possess. Possess. In pawn is going to be the lock interact. Yeah. So yeah, in pawn is going to be the particular pawn that we want to possess. And so we're going to come over here from the pawn, and we're going to set get not the get player, but in-pawn is going to be self. Yeah, and target is going to be get player controller. Compile, save, run it again. EL, still not working. Oh, maybe this is probably because of, yeah, it could be because of this mapping context. And how exactly are we changing this? So we are changing the on the event possessed. We are changing we are removing the mapping context and we are adding the mapping context. Oh, but this is going to be the same thing. Yeah, the play pawn is basically our pawn. This is not going to work. We have to cast to our sandbox character. That's a that's not good. Anyways, let's get owner. Okay, and from here we're going to cast to CBP, or maybe not. We can just get a variable called CBP, player, and over here we can go do this CBP sandbox player character object reference, and this is going to be the place where your message is going to pop up. All right then. So E, then L, still not working. I want to check, does this print anything? I mean, is it even coming to this point or not? So if it prints hello, we know. I don't even know. It says hello like when I possess it, not when I like unpossess it. What is going on? Oh, now I know. Do I? Maybe let's not unpossess it first, but possess the player first. Or maybe not on, let's not unpossess it at all. We're just going to possess the player. How about that? Compile, save, play. It still sends that. And sends it twice of the times for some reason. And I'm not even pressing L. Why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? Maybe there is something else, someplace else. What if I just say this? Print this instead. Yeah, that hello is something else. Yep. So this particular function is not running. Got it. Got it. So what else can we do is we can get actor of class. Okay, and the class is going to be BPI sandbox character. CBP sandbox character, and we're going to put that instead here. I just want this to work. Okay. Okay. Okay, word. Now we can go back. Nice. Now that much is done. Now we also need to create a function where we actually unlock this and then unlock a cabinet or a door. So what we're going to do is we're going to firstly have another, okay, just like we made a player here, we are also going to make a reference for the lock that we are using currently, so the actor that exists in the world, so that we can make it physics based. And I mean, yeah, that can also be just a message that just sends to that particular actor. But what I actually want to change, what I actually want to have is the cabinet that this lock is going to open up. Okay, and that also is going to come to this actor over here. So we're going to open this up, and there's going to be a event. Let's open this folder, and we're going to create a blueprint interface, which is going to be lockpad interface. Okay, and inside this interface we're going to create a new lockpad function, which is basically going to be correct combination. Correct combination. So there is going to be one for the, if we put the correct combination, exit lock. Okay, so this is going to be a event when we exit changing the combination and then just exit and go somewhere else. So it will like play maybe a sound, or maybe the lock will swing for a bit or something like that. And then yeah, I think yeah, the interface is only going to have these two things. Then the other thing that we're going to have is inside the lock interest, we're going to get inside the lock interact, we're going to get the lock function, like lock itself. So we're going to get over here save combination, and then we're going to get the lock actor, like the world actor. Okay, and this is going to be a type of lock. So there's lockpad interface object type lockpad, so we want this object reference. Compile and save everything. Then let's go back to the lockpad pawn, and no, let's go back to the sandbox character. Yeah, lockpad pawn, and we're going to make the lockpad, and over here there's going to be type of lockpad object reference, and over here inside the sandbox player character or whatever, every single time that we are getting the lock interact, I guess over here when we are setting up the combination, we are also going to set lock actor. Okay, so we are also going to set up the log pad. It's the log pad, right? Yep. So we're going to also set up log pad, which we're going to get from here. So it's going to be a log actor. All right. And now what we are going to do is we're going to send a information about this log pad to the oh yeah, we don't, oh my god, yeah. We don't particularly need it, do we? Hmm. Yeah, let's just move with this. And now what we want to do is upon escape, yeah, firstly upon escape we're going to get the log pad, and inside the log pad we're going to have, I mean, we are already doing it, so we don't really need this interface. You can just get event, custom event, and this custom event will be for correct combination. Unlock the lock, basically. Okay, so we are able to unlock the lock. Then firstly we want to set it to be simulate, as I am simulate physics, and it's going to be the all of these actually. Going to set simulate to lock wheel, and I think, yeah, we're just going to set it to lock, and I think it will simulate it for all of them because they exist inside it. Like if I click on this, it didn't do it. However, whatever, we will see what happens. And the other thing that we want to do is get the interactable, and we're going to destroy it. We can destroy it, but delete it. We cannot even do that. We can remove input. Nope. How about display? Yeah, let's forget about the interactable for now. So we're going to set it to simulate physics, and if we exit but we don't unlock it, so it's going to be a custom event lock. Okay, like this I will just run if it is just locked. Is that then we're going to play a sound, play sound 2D, and it's going to be, let's say, two. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so if we escape but the lock is still locked, then we're going to play sound. If we unlock it, then we're going to escape from the system and then set everything to simulate physics. All right, then. Now this particular thing, this escape, yeah, so before we escape, we're going to do it right over here. There's going to go with a sequence, and before we do the actor of class and stuff, we're going to go over here, we're going to go inside the branch, and we're going to check is open. So it's going to be a variable is is open. Okay, and the default is going to be off. And now we're going to go inside the logpad and we're going to check. Okay, so inside the logpad we're going to basically go over here and run the event. So firstly it was unlock and the second one was lock. So if it's not open, then we're going to lock it, and if it's open, then we're going to unlock it. No door thing yet. For now, we're just working with this. Right, and now over here we are checking, is it open or is it locked? And what we have to do is basically do this. Is open or is locked? Now we can use escape, but if for some reason we are not able to do this, what we are going to do is we're going to have another custom event, which is going to be close window or something like that. Okay, and we're going to come over here, and when we open it, so the open is true, we're going to call for that close window. Okay, so if we get the correct combination, then we're going to do this. Now let's just hope that this works. So if we go over here, the combination, I think it is 5, 8, 6, 7. Okay, so 5, 8, 6, 7. So if I press one more time, it's going to unlock. Okay, it did unlock. All of those things happen, but it didn't simulate physics. And why didn't it simulate physics? Trying to access read property event and log on over here, this one. So for some reason this log pad is not really working. So so how we do it? How do we do this? How about we print what it is? Print string over here. Yay. Yay. Okay, it says empty, but it should have said logpad, and that is a problem. That is a problem. That is a problem. So what else we can do is, instead of getting this log actor, we can basically get the display name of this thing. So inside the logpad, when we are doing this, we can get display name. Okay, get display name, and the object is going to be self, and we're going to output that, which is going to be string. So string log name. Okay, and now what we're going to do is over here inside the logpad pawn, we're going to, instead of again the logpad, we're going to delete this, and we're going to get logpad logpad name, which is going to be type of string, and then we're going to in this then over here, just like we are doing this actor get actor of class, we're going to get all actors of class, and then we're going to go for each loop. Okay, so we're going to go for each loop, and then we're going to check for each of those actors, do get display name, and does this display name match to this display name? Okay, we cannot do that. Why we cannot do this? Equal okay, equal exactly string, and then only when this is happening, I'm going to make another branch, and only when this is true, we're going to send it forward. All right then. Yeah, this is going to be the input. This is going to be a type of lock pad. Lock pad for each loop. All right then, let's do this. Yeah, this is not working, this is not working. The display name is not going to work because this is just lock name, and then we'll also have to set lock name, set lock name, lockpad name, and set it to be this. Compile, save, and yeah, let's check this one out. So we go over here. Even now it's not saying. I want this to say lockpad, because if I duplicate this, now this is lockpad 2, which it should say lockpad 2. So I don't really know why this is happening. Maybe we set everything before we are trying to like do this. Maybe then we have more values. Also, inside the lockpad, when we interact with this, we are not sending anything. Oh my god, why am I like this? So if we click on this, it says lockpad 2, and if we press L, did you see? It made sound. It made sound. Okay, so and if we click on this, now it's referencing to the lockpad 1. Okay, so working. I was like a bit worried that if I unlock just one lock in the world, it will just unlock every single world, every single lock that exists. Not a good way, but yeah. So the combination is 5, 8, 6, 7. It dropped. Yeah. Yes. So right now it's simulating physics, and you can also kick the lock. I personally am going to make this not collide with anything but the ground, which is I think this is dynamic. Yeah, this is something called dynamic or something. Okay, world dynamic or something. So yeah, hey, the thing is working. All right, that. Um so the log is now working. I might need to change a few of the things. Like, firstly, it's tilting. The camera is tilting for some reason. Don't really know why. Maybe this is a good thing. I don't really know. But one thing for sure that we want to do is set the combination to be something else. Uh, and you guys cannot see the combination because of my head. And that's why I'm not going to actually show you guys the combination. And when you guys get the game on hand, try for yourself, search for the solution. I will hide it somewhere so you will be able to read it or something like that. Okay, nice. So I'm going to make a number which is completely random. This is not random. I'm just typing something and it's not random. Okay. All right. So we have two numbers that you guys don't know, and I just typed them. So, and I'm going to now make a system where you would be able to get them. Okay. And that system is called not reading. Okay, so before I publish the game, I actually do want some kind of note reading inside this game, and that's what we are going to do today. So firstly, we do need page, but I think we can work with a plane for now. So we're going to go inside the project files, and instead of the puzzles, it should be inside the world actors, but I'm going to put it inside the puzzles, and we're going to make a new folder called notes. Okay, and inside the notes we're going to make a blueprint class, not a connector or a connector. Oh yeah, we are going to possess it and we're going to read everything. Yeah, it's going to be a full connector. It's going to be weird. You know what, I will make something that once you take up the, like, for now, okay, for now, for the prototype, there will be like some kind of text inside this blueprint, and when you pick this up, I will make something like a widget will pop up and it will give you that information. Okay, and you can write it down and that widget will stay there. It will be like small widget. So for now, okay, for just prototyping purposes, we are doing this. So this is going to be a type of actor. Double click on it. Let's also change the name to be test note. Okay, and this test note will have a text, okay, type of string and instance editable, and this basically will transport further. Can we type and do enter? No, we cannot. Okay, okay, I will basically make that this text contain your number, so you can just type in that number for now, I think. So yeah, the text has been confirmed, and now what we need to do is we need to create a plane. So plane, get that, and it's actually going to be at z1 1. Okay, and the basic color material, I'm thinking of this. So if you see this plain somewhere, then that means it contains the logpad code. All right, compile and save it. And now the next thing that we want to do is an interaction. So interactable. Right, and this time we're going to go inside. Yeah, this is also going to call for pickup item. Pickup item. And there's already so many things. Okay, so this text, this time we're just going to use the name as, oh yeah, but the name changes things. We can make the objective, yeah. This name, right? Yeah, this is name. The objective is name, and there's going to be get player pawn. Compile, save everything, and now, oh yeah, the name. My god. The name is going to be the node. Okay. Now let's go over here, pick up item, and now we have to make another one. And this is going to be note. And inside the note, we're going to get the objective and print it. So we're going to get the player heard. Okay. And then it's going to like, we have to go inside the player heard. So inside the player heard, there will be like a like stuff over here. So image, let's put that there. The anchor will be on that side, and the position is going to be 0 and 0, and the size is going to be 200 by 50. And then we're going to get the color and opacity is going to be dark red. And then we're going to get a text. Again, the position is going to be 0 and 0. And this text block is going to be size of 250. And the justification is going to be at center. Okay. And this is going to be a variable. Compile, save. And can we send it inside the image? We cannot. So you basically have to hide both of them. Oh my god, no. No. So how about we just make a canvas panel, put that over here, move the move text block and image to the canvas panel, then make the text block anchor to be all of them and offsets to be 0 0 0, and then go to the image, go to the text, right? And now let's move this whole canvas panel to that position, and we can go with 250 and 100. Let's bring text above image. And now we can basically change this text to be something else, and the image doesn't need to be a variable. Combination for now, and there's going to be the event node pickup. Pick is variable. Right, the visibility is going to be hidden. And now let's go to the graph. So in the graph, going to have a custom event, and it's going to be called call combination tag. Okay, and this combination tag, so we're going to get the combination, and we're going to get event node pick. So we're going to make it visible, make visible, set visibility, set visibility. And before we do this, we're going to set text to something, and after delay of let's say 1 minute, so 60 seconds, it's going to disappear again. Okay, so you guys have 60 seconds to unlock your code, or else you have to restart the game. All right, now that one is done. I'm going to go back to the designer, and I don't think we need to change anything. We can go inside the sandbox character, and inside here we're going to call for, what was the event? Call combination tag. We're going to run this, and we're going to attach the objective to the text. And I just hope, I really hope that it says what we want it to say. So for now, I can place the project files puzzles note. I'm going to place it over here, and we're going to play. Okay, we didn't set it. Right, so all of these things are done, but few things like note will tell text 100, and this is going to be simple key press and simple interaction widget. Compile, save, and let's play. So that one works, this one still doesn't work. Probably because of the interactable itself. Oh yeah, it's working. So now if I pick up the note, it will pop up that. Right now it says none, because there is nothing inside the string. That's true. That's quite true. And I mean, there is one more thing that we can do with the note, and that is that it is, for now we're just going to type in one of the code. I hope you guys cannot see it. Now you cannot see it. Okay, so even I forgot what the code was. whatever you do, don't have a memory like me. That's it. Whatever you do, just don't get a memory like me. And you will live long. Dun, 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 dun. For this one, it is um, what it what? Okay. Da, 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 da. Okay. And what we are going to do is, oh yeah, we also have to make that functionality where we basically put this lock somewhere and we lock that position. Yeah. For now, these gates open with keys, so not exactly, but I mean, I we can make it sometime else. I just want this to work. So this lock here is going to be unlocked by this. I don't know how far did I send it. Okay, it's going to be unlocked with this file over here. Yeah, I need to change a lot of things if I want to make this playable by characters. I also have to do level designing. So yeah, not really good thing, but yeah, maybe we can work with this. Maybe I just can do some things behind the scenes. I mean, this is just work, like a lot of work. I have to change a lot of things from here and there. So it's not really that interesting and useful to showcase on live stream. Anyways, I think the basic of the lockpad is done, a basic of notes is done. Now we can move on to menu. Okay. I will actually build the menu here. Also, the menu is still going to be the little bit one, not the final menu. But yeah, I'm going to build menu here. Let me just drink water. I dropped some of it. All right. Okay, so oh my god, the brightness. So I went and searched for all kind of features or all kind of options that a game setting should have, and I found out this handy checklist by Kevin over on the game developer website. And we're going to go through all of these things, and we're going to have at least 90 to like 95% of them. Okay, so firstly, we have the journal. Can you access the settings before starting the game? Yes. Will help your player start the game with the right foot without any lag and proper language option, subtitles, and also useful for streamers who want to prepare ahead of time or YouTubers recording footage. So yes, you can do this inside the menu, but you cannot do this as a physical like like physical thing, but I can make it a physical thing. I can just make a file which contain all of these settings in the hard drive, and then the game is basically accessing that file to know what exactly we want to change. So some players can change the settings from there. Are the controls consistent? Navigating through the menu should be consistent with the player controls using WSD. I will change it later. Can you control the menu with mouse? Yes. Can you control the menu with gamepad, thumbsticks, and D-pad? Yes. Does the back button only go back one menu option? What? Navigating When navigating submenus, using the back button should return to the previous menu rather than cassette back. Yeah. It does go. It just goes to one section back. Do you have confirmation message before backing out of the options without saving? I don't have this, but I think, yeah, I think I will do this later. Video resolutions. Does your game support multiple resolutions in game? It can be tricky for 2D games, including pixel art consistent, but consider having a system to resize the game, like doubling the pixels or displaying its original size. So we need to work with ratios and stuff. Yeah. Okay. So first of all, the video resolutions. What kind of video resolutions will we have? Okay, so we're going to go over inside the Unreal Engine, and we're going to open up widgets, options, and we're going to open up display. So over here, we're not going to use FPS log, by the way, because it's something that I don't want to have right now. Also, the name is different. So this name should be display resolution. This display resolution. Or maybe just container one. Alright, and now we're just going to duplicate this. And the next thing that we want to have, so the display resolution is here. We are using display resolution. The next thing we want is the ratio. Now I do want to know about the ratio. Can we change the ratio? Vegetable text. What? We are not using the frame rate. Okay. Display resolution. And we're not using this. Okay, so the next thing we need is the ratios, right? And can we switch between full screen, windowed, or borderless? Yeah, let me just do this first. Okay, because it is easier. So display mode. Okay, you will not be able to see this right now, this kind of work inside the full game, but I mean, there are options. I just hope that they work. So this one have full screen, then it's going to have full screen and windowed, and then borderless. Okay, and the selected option is going to be full screen. Okay, compile it, save it. Now we're going to go inside the graph, and instead of the resolution, we're going to call this display mode. Now let's change it. So on selection change, we're going to get user, then we're going to switch on this, and again this is going to have three options, no default. First one is going to be full screen, then second one is going to be windowed, and then borderless. So if it's full screen, we want to set display mode, maybe is it full screen? Yeah, set full screen mode, and it's going to be three of them. Okay, so firstly it's going to be full screen, then windowed, and then windowed full screen. Basically the windowed full screen is the borderless, and compile and save it. Nice. Also on event construct, we're going to move these things to separate place, and then we're going to get game user settings, get full screen mode, and then we're going to get the display mode and select set selected index or set selected option, and we're going to switch select this one based on this. First one is going to be full screen, windowed, borderless, and windowed. Right, so I guess with that our yeah, so now we can select between full screen, windowed, or borderless. Again, this is not going to work in game, but I will check out if this will work or not in the build game mode. So yeah, the default is full screen, so we're going to keep it that way. Also one big thing, if you remember, when we actually played the game, it said borderless, right? Yeah, it says borderless, and this is basically which type of mode are we playing in. Okay, so if we go over to full screen, and if we exit the game, go back, play the game again. Okay, now it says full screen. Nice. Save everything. So full screen is done. I will do the ratio and stuff soon, not today. No. Can you deactivate screen filters and other intrusive visual effects? Can you see the effects on the screen? I am not using any kind of effects. Can you modify quality level of the game through single menu option? Oh yeah, like the custom menu, like low, yeah, like the low, medium, hard, or extreme, or ultra, or stuff like that. Yeah, like some kind of presets, and there will be a custom preset as well. So let's make this section, shall we? So let's go back to the graphics. We're going to delete this. We're going to get yeah, I think we need to copy whatever we have there. So we need to copy this display. We need to copy this container. So that I have all of the dimension correctly. All right. So the first thing that we're going to have is the preset. Okay. And that preset is going to change between custom or low or medium or high or ultra or cinematic. High ultra versus cinematic or ultra high. Plus ultra. Yeah, that sounds good. Plus ultra. Okay, and the selected one is actually going to be high. Nice. Compile and save. Now there is one more thing that you guys should know about. Right now there is no section to know what kind of like visual effects do you really have. But if you go to the settings and then you go to the engine scalability settings, then as you can see over here we have all of these things. And if you click on these things up here, they are basically the presets. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to basically use all of the functionality from this scalability group, and from this we're going to build our menu, right? As you can see, from high and epic there is not much of a difference. Okay, and if it goes cinematics, like there is no visual difference, but the FPS goes really low for some reason. Okay, and we can go medium, we can even go low. So what I want is this high, so all of these things should be that way. Anyways, now let's start building. So inside the graphics we have the preset set. We're going to add a container but delete everything from the container, and then we're going to add something else. Okay, I mean duplicate this. So it's going to create like this gap in between, and we can add a, I guess, a image to this container, and this image will fill everything, and then this container will no, not like this. This will fill like that, but this way. How do we resize it? Maybe resizing should happen inside here. Yeah, so now it's just a basic line. This is like we have a division between the preset and the other stuff. So the first thing that we are going to change is, let me go with the book, texture quality. I'm going to get blinded by this. Texture quality. Okay, and inside the texture quality, again, the thing is going to be the same. Okay, so this thing is going to be same in all of them. Let me put it over like this, and this one over like this, so we can see everything. Change it. Okay, duplicate this. Shadow, reflection, particle effect, anti-aliasing, v-sync, FPS limit, field of view, ambient occlusion, depth of field. Okay, and we're going to change and we're going to change other ones later. For now, this texture quality is going to be shadow, quality. Okay, then the reflection quality, reflection quality, and the particle effect quality, or yeah, particle effect, or effect quality, effects quality. Then it is anti-aliasing. Okay, and then saying anti-aliasing. Then we have v-sync. Okay, then we're going to have the FPS limit. Then we're going to have the field of view. And then we're going to have the ambient occlusion. And then we have the depth of field. But I don't think I'm using depth of field. Yeah, I'm not using depth of field in game, basically. And I'm not planning to use it. It kind of give me headache. Yeah, one more thing that we need to add in graphics is motion blur. Motion blur. Okay, few of them are not like high, ultra low. They are just on, off, or some other kind of limits. Now we're going to go inside the default level settings and engine scalability over here. Okay, and we're going to check which one do we not have. So we have view distance. Nope. So let's add it. So it's going to be over inside like just before anti-aliasing, and this is going to be view effect. Wait a minute, what? View distance. This what exactly does it impact? Let me check. What if I set the view to be near in cinematic? Yeah, it doesn't change anything, so we're not going to use it. Post processing, yeah. the post processing. Instead of the distance, we want to use post processing quality. Okay, then anti-aliasing has been put it there. Then the shadows is there. Global illumination is kind of like the reflection. We're going to use this same thing. Oh no, the reflection is there. So we need to have the global illumination. So we're going to copy this, and this is going to be global illumination QALTY quality. Okay. So global illumination is done, textures are done, effects are done, foliage is left, shading is not done, and landscape is not done. We can leave landscape and foliage for now because we're not even using both of those. But for the shading, I mean, yeah, we can go with shading. So inside the right under the shadow, we're going to add the shading quality. So instead of the shadow, it's going to be such a the shading quality. Okay, so the texture quality, shadow quality, shading quality, reflection, global, or all of those things will be directly connected to the preset. And if we change any of these in particular, the preset will change back to custom. Okay, but if we change the preset itself, then it's going to change all of these settings to a certain preset. Okay. So let's go to the graph. And now what we want to do, one thing that I didn't do is we need to change these names. So this one is going to be preset. Then this one is going to be texture. Then this one is going to be shadow. This one is going to be shading. Then this one is going to be reflection. This one is going to be illumination. This is going to be effects. Then this is going to be post process. Then this is going to be anti-aliasing. Then this is going to be vsync. FPS. I just deleted it and then I have to do it again. But it will be happening in different way. MB, I will show you guys like one or two things of these, and then I will do all of them by myself off stream so that I have much more. What did I forget? Field of view. Field of view will actually go inside other things. Yeah, field of view is not going to be here. I'm sorry about this, but it's not going to be here. Ambient occlusion. Okay, this is going to be depth of field. Again, depth of field is not going to be here. These are journal things. Also, motion blur can be here. Motion blur. Okay, motion blur will not have any of these things, but two of them called off or on. Okay, so either it's on or off. By default it's going to be off. Ambient occlusion high, it can be high. Not going to worry about them yet. Now let's go over here and we're going to get event construct. Okay, so on event construct we're going to go inside sequence, and before that we're going to get game user settings. And yeah, I'm actually going to make all of this this sequence thing inside a function. So we're going to right click and collapse to function, and we're also going to have a input for this thing. I'll do that. Maybe let's undo it, make a reroute and make these function. Okay, and this function is going to be change defaults. Okay, change defaults, and inside over here we don't need to do this. This is basically going to be inside of the input pin. We're going to call this the settings. Okay, so that we can get this particular get settings, and we can get this. All right, so the first thing that we're going to set is not all these, but by this section. Firstly, we're going to set is the preset, and now we're going to check do we get quality. So QALITY. So inside the quality we can set anti-aliasing, audio, foliage, visual effects, view distance. Yeah, we cannot set like a whole preset quality, but yeah, we cannot set the whole preset quality. Well, whatever. For now we can go with the textures and stuff. So for now, as you see, the texture quality, then shadow, shading, reflection. So firstly texture, then shadow, then shading, and then reflection. So we are going to work with these four first, and for all of them we need one more sequence so that it's kind of neat and clean. So we're going to work with textures. So we're going to get the settings and set a get texture. Okay, in the construction we're going to get it. So get texture quality. Okay, and this number is like 0 to 1, so higher is better basically. So 0 to 4 is basically like 0 is low, then 1 is medium, then 3 is high, then 4 is no 0 low, 1 medium, 2 high, 3 epic, and 5 cinematic. So it's like that, right? So we're going to switch switch on int, and we're going to create 5 of them. Or maybe instead of that we can just go over here and set selected option or set selected index and just basically put this. It's the same thing. Okay, so the first one is done. Now we are also going to check it if this is even working by firstly setting the texture. Okay, so we're going to set the texture to be cinematics. Then we're going to go, right now the scalability of everything is high. So if you play, go to the menu, option, graphics, it's still high. Well, what do we have here? Well, what do we have here? Did I close the... Where the graphics go? Oh my god. So, how about we print this? So that we even know, like, yeah, it worked and now it's printing this. The texture quality should be this. Let's run option. Texture quality should be 3. 3 means epic, and it's high right now. Oh, no, wait a minute. So if we go to texture and go over here, the 3 is high. Oh my god, I completely forget about this. We have to delete custom from all of these. I'm sorry, it happens. I don't know how to fix it, but whatever. So we're going to leave this one and then go to the custom, and we cannot even delete it. Delete, 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 delete. Dun, 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 boo, boo, boo. Da, 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 dum, dum. Da, da, dum, ba, dum, ba, dum, bum, ba, da, bum, ba, da, ba, da, ba, dum. Now it should work. Options, graphics, and as you can see, the texture quality is ultra. Now I don't really know why it's not cinematics, but I think we can go cinematics if you want, and we can do that by add the graphics. Okay. Sorry. The setting the texture quality is still not done. I'm still making the selection change. So let's duplicate this and this, and over here we're going to add shadow, and settings will get shadow quality. Okay, this will be the first. Then duplicate it, then duplicate it. This is going to be shading, and this is going to be reflection. And instead of the shadow quality, we're going to get shading quality and get reflection quality. Okay, so setting up all of these things are done. We can just set them up by this inside a function. And now what we're going to do is every time we press one of these buttons, we will basically change the code via that. So now we're going to go inside texture on selection change. We're going to get from the selected and switch on string. It's going to have 5 options and no default pin. First one is going to be low, then high, medium, medium, high, and the next one is going to be ultra, and then plus ultra. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to get the user settings from here, and then we're going to set texture quality. Get index. Can we do that? Selection type, array, switch. Or maybe we can just get this. Let's do it this way. Why not? So duplicate this, medium, high, ultra, plus ultra. Okay, so value 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, and then 4. And over here you can see the value, like 0 is low, then medium, then high, then epic, then cinematics. All right then, so the texture one is done. Now we just need to duplicate this because the functions over here are the same, and we can duplicate this, not this, the shadow. Add selection change, put this over here, then this over here, then set shadow quality, low, medium, high, ultra, plus ultra. Okay, another one is done. So now we're going to check these two, and I'm going to build all the other things behind the scenes, and yeah, so that I have a bit of rest and you guys don't have to be bored by my whining. Alright, so firstly we go inside options, then graphics. Oh yeah, we need to just set one more thing inside the options. So inside the options, when we set this graphics, we need to get the preset widget. So get preset, and we need that to be our widget in focus. Compile, save, and now let's play it. I also need to change like how they behave, like how all of these buttons behave when they get hovered over. So right now the texture quality is ultra. Or what I'm going to do is set it to medium, then set the shadow quality to medium, and then set the shading quality to medium and to medium as well. So all of those things are to medium. Now we're going to go back, resume our game. Well, I don't really see much difference. but I believe there is, because if we go back to the graphics, okay, two of them are still, oh yeah, because we cannot change it. We cannot change the shading quality, but didn't we change this to medium instead of the low? This is a bit, this is a bit, um, yeah. So I think there is something going on with the index, and we might need to change that. But if we change the texture quality to low, what does happen now? It stays to low. And if we set it to, let's say, ultra, then it stays to ultra. So texture quality is done, the shadow quality is not done, and yeah. So if I pick this up, you will know the code, so I'm not going to do that. Yeah, so for now, I'm going to end the stream over here. I just showed you guys how the game is progressing, and tomorrow, after building this game and after like solving all kinds of problems and stuff, I will showcase you the final bit of the game. Okay, I will make sure that, well, I will try to make all kinds of options to basically easy up your experience. And yeah, we will see how well does this game do. How well will this game do? And all of your guys' feedbacks, whoever is going to play the game, is acceptable. Acceptable. I'm going to read them, so make sure that you do send up the feedback. I think this game is going to be available on iTouch, like this prototype is going to be available on iTouch, but I will link wherever I will publish it in the description tomorrow, or maybe on Sunday or Monday, something like that. So see you in the next live or video. Till then, bye bye and take care.